present hot pink Junae Brown of Brown to Perfection, our CEO queen. She is going to be coming out and giving us a live recording of a podcast, and we are just so excited and lucky to have her here. Please help me welcome Junae.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good.
How's Marketing Land so far?
Good.
Loving it? How's Marketing Land, y'all? First and foremost, shout outs to Marketing Land, Work Week, the Marketing Millennials for having me. I'm so proud of all of this. I think it looks excellent. Been meeting some great people so far. And so yeah, excited to talk. Today we're speaking on I am the marketing plan. Before we jump in, I'll go into a very, very short thing about me, because it's not about me. This is really about y'all. And so my name is Junae Brown. I'm CEO and founder of Brown to Perfection Agency. We specialize in helping brands, companies, artists become what I like to say the best version of themselves. We focus a lot of times on strategic authenticity marketing, as I'd like to call it. And you'll hear a lot of that also throughout this conversation as well. But we have a good time, we do good things. And I think that's enough about me. I thought that was cool, right? Okay. So yeah, today we're speaking on I am the marketing plan, right? What a bold statement, but a true one. And so today what you'll get from this is how to authentically position yourself as a creative professional or brand through personal branding, strategy, content creation, and social media. We'll discuss the best ways to showcase expertise, advance your career, and build a brand that lasts and get paid, right? Because everybody loves money. I talk with my hands a lot, so I gotta remember, like, we're recording a podcast with people listening. Like, so I did a money symbol, right? Get money, we like money. Okay, so yeah, the first part of this is be yourself. And that's the importance of authenticity and confidence. I like to start here because I think, again, whether you're an individual or we're talking about a product or a company, who are we? If you don't know who you are, you don't know who you're talking to, right? And the best branding comes from knowing who your target audience is, knowing what makes them tick, knowing where they like to find things or shop or listen to things. Like, you have to go where they are. I think a lot of times branding is like, it's not that you're doing the wrong thing, but it's like, let's say you're going to the supermarket. Personally, I like Trader Joe's, right? I like Trader Joe's because everything's always in the same place, at least in your Trader Joe's. Now, if you go to another one, you're gonna be like, where are the eggs? Help me. But everything's always in the same place. You know where to find them. A lot of times I think branding is kind of like, well, I do this really well and I'm a potato chip, but I'm in the milk aisle. So it looks like what I'm doing doesn't work. No one's seeing it. It's not translating. It's not converting, but really you're just in the wrong place, right? It's the positioning part. And I think if we go back to the original like 4 Ps and all that of marketing, like, positioning is extremely important, because it doesn't matter if you have the best brand in the world, if it's not in the right place and it's not being pushed to the right audience, it's crickets. And so yeah, so again, be yourself, right? And I think that also means not trying to be everything to everyone, not trying to look like the other thing that you see that's working. You need to find what's special about you. I like to think about I am the marketing plan, especially when it comes to personal branding, as, you know, it sounds cliche, but all of us are individuals. We all have different fingerprints. Like, none of us are the same. Even, you know, twins are kind of still not the same, right? And so with that being said, you have to find what's great about you, not what's great about this person that makes you say, like, oh, I want to be like them, and if I do that, then it should work. Like, no, what's great about you? Because there are things that you do well. The same way when you walk in to apply for a position and you have a resume, and what are you doing? Highlight the things that make you look good. You're not saying like, oh, hey, can I see your resume so I can just put the same thing down? No, especially if that's not what you did. So when you approach content and branding, you should be operating from the same place. You really have to sit down and say, like, what are my skill sets, and then we'll get into content and things like that as we go through this, but it translates right back into that as well, because the things that may work for another brand or another person may not work for you. We want things to work instantly. And I think in marketing, we hate when clients do it, but we do it to ourselves. And when it comes to our personal branding, we're like, okay, I posted a picture every day this week, and it's still just my mom and my aunt and the person I used to work with in college at Dunkin' Donuts. What's going on, right? And it's like, I did the photo shoot. Okay, hello, where are the opportunities? Book me to speak. And it's like, it's not osmosis. And so I think one of the hardest things for me as a marketer, excuse me, lavalier, is branding myself. Everybody's like, you have this great personal brand, blah, blah, blah. I overthink it just like everyone else. But at the end of the day, I always get to a place where I'm just like, well, this is who you really are. This feels good to you. Just push the button. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Try something else. We work in the industry of trial and error. I think even when it comes to clients, again, we get agitated with them when we're like, hey, we have to test this out. We have to see, strategize. Why is it that we don't want to do the same thing when it comes to our personal brand? We're just kind of like, well, I'm here. I'm on the platform. I have a LinkedIn. Why isn't this working? And so, yeah, again, so the first thing is be yourself. I really want to drill that into everyone's heads. Be yourself, not your favorite, whoever. You can draw inspiration, but be you. That is so important. And everything that you need to do that, you already have. This is not something that you necessarily have to conjure up. Strategize, yes. Find your strengths. Hire for your weaknesses, yes. But you don't have to be anyone else. So that's part one, right? The next part is, before we jump to the next part, right? We talked about identifying your strengths. I want to get into that a little more too, because sometimes your strengths are not things that you automatically would think they are. They're just things that you do better than everyone else with ease. A lot of times there are things that you do extremely well. And when you're going through this process, like, talk to people who know you well. Talk to people who have been around you, who have interacted with you. You'd be surprised. I remember my mom was actually saying to me, she's like, a couple months ago, she's like, hey, I'm doing some activity, some like self-work activity. And she's like, send me some things that you think are like, you know, strengths about me or good qualities about me. And I sent her a list of like 5-6 things. I think my mom is incredible. I sent her like 5-6 things, and she was like, oh, I didn't have none of that down. And I was like, are you kidding me? And I'm like, well, I've known her for however many years. And I'm like, yeah, you do this all the time, and you do this with everyone. But I think it's a lot of times we're just, you know, we're in our bodies. We're walking around, so we're not seeing ourselves how other people see us. And again, something that you think is just like, oh, well, I always do that because that's just me, is something that actually to the audience is something that could be extremely valuable. So strengths is super important, and I think finding your strengths is good too, because then you're not so worried about your weaknesses. I think we go weaknesses first, and then the strengths list looks super short because the weakness list is so long. You're like, well, I don't have this, I don't do this, I don't want to do that. I'm not doing that. So yeah, never mind, not doing this. Versus like, well, here's what I'm good at. And then based off of that, okay, here's the things I don't have. How can I combat those? Or do they even matter? Because one thing about me, I'm not focusing on the things I don't do well or I don't like. And that's worked out pretty okay so far. I'm just not doing it. I think, and that may just be me being like a little stubborn Aquarius lady or whatever, but I'm like, that march to the beat of my own drum thing is real. Like, I'm not, yeah, it's uncomfortable. It's extremely uncomfortable. If you try for even 5 minutes to be something you're not, you're going to be extremely uncomfortable. You're going to be extremely uncomfortable, and you're not going to be able to produce the way you would if you were in, you know, walking and aligned in what you should be doing. So, everyone talks about, so I know I talked y'all to death about believe in yourself, be you, your strengths, right? And I mean that stuff, but then it's like, okay, what if I have a long list of things and I just don't know what my niche is? Everybody is like, you gotta have a niche. What's your thing? What's your thing? So I actually have been speaking, my last couple speaking engagements, I've been talking about this. I actually think that because we've been over oversaturated, or for lack of better terminology, beat to death over the head with niche content since the pandemic. I think the audience and the creators that are doing things well are actually kind of moving a little bit away from over niching. Not that you shouldn't have one thing or two things, or maybe a tight three. Don't go too far. A tight three, right, of things you do extremely well. I think people want to see that you're a person. I think it kind of dehumanizes brands sometimes when it's over niche. I mean, you'll even see product brands kind of stepping out into like, okay, well, how else do we fit into our consumer's life and their lifestyle? Like, how else can we be of value to them? And the thing with content is that, you know, people view, watch, buy, support people that they like. They like people that they trust. How do you get trust? Being consistent. Consistently doing what? Bringing value. So you want to make sure, obviously, that you're bringing value, but also I wouldn't say in this era to over niche. I think especially going into 2024, the brands that we're going to see really translate are the ones, and I think we're seeing it already. Like, I think the most blatant place to see it always is like an influencer marketing, right? It's like, who are the people that actually are converting? Not just I have a lot of followers and I do this one thing really well, but it's usually also like, oh, but no, I like following this person because I like where they shop, or they go to Trader Joe's, I go to Trader Joe's too. YouTube, I study YouTube a lot and YouTubers because I feel like a lot of them are good at that. Like, people aren't buying into like one thing with YouTubers. They're buying into like their whole life, like what they ate for breakfast and what they got on Amazon. And I mean, I do it too. I'm like, oh yeah, that is cute. Let me go on Amazon and look, wish list, right? But I think it speaks to what translates to people nowadays. And I think we're not going to retreat back from a world where people like to get an inside look at all. I think we did it so much in the past 3 years because it was pandemic land. But I don't think we're going to go backwards. I think we're just gonna have a beautiful blended, like, okay, real life meets virtual life. And you'll see a lot of, again, speaking about like YouTubers and their kind of trends, they're taking people into their real lives, right? Get in the car with me and come with me to my hair appointment. And then, oh, you see my hair, right? Yeah. And everybody's like, do it again. And it's like, some of these YouTubers are dropping every week. And I'm like, nobody's tired. I'm like, no, the views are higher than before. And a good friend of mine, he like, sometimes he comes to my house on like Sundays, and that's like my YouTube day, right? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, she's just in Target. And he's like, he's like, 200,000 views? She's in Target, Junae. And I'm like, yeah. And she buying stuff that I like. Shut up. And so again, like, you want to really, I'm sorry. You want to really, again, not over niche, but give people like a nice dose of you. And again, this goes for brands as well. Like I said, like, if you're a brand, people need to see how you fit into their lives. I think if you think about, and sometimes it's easier, like I was getting ready to bring up like away luggage. I think when they first kind of launched and had that surge, I think a lot of it was because it kind of showed you like, okay, yeah, I would look really cute with that matching luggage walking through LaGuardia Terminal. That's my favorite airport. I don't know if anybody's been to New York, but don't talk about my LaGuardia, okay? LaGuardia looks good now, all right? There's a water fountain in there, okay? I'll be in there shopping. I come early so I can like go to the bookstore, get my breakfast, sit down. Neither here nor there. Shout out to LaGuardia. Maybe they do sponsorships. So this to say, this is fun. I like podcast format because like I don't really got to stick all the way to the script, which I never do anyway, to be honest with y'all. But this is fun. Yeah, so we have the niching thing, right? So don't overly niche. The next part I really love a lot is, I'm looking at this timer and I thought it said I had talked for 30 minutes already. I was like, dang, Q&A. Okay, cool, we got some time. So the next one is have your shit together. It's marketing land. I think we can cuss. Have your shit together, right? This is really the boring side of personal branding, right? Admin, how to position yourself online, as a creator, what are some of the things that you should be doing, and really knowing your worth and making it easy to get paid for it. As someone who has been on both sides of things, the talent and the booking side, you would be surprised how difficult people make it to, one, figure out what it is you do, and two, figure out how to get in contact with you. Goodness gracious. Easy thing. I know you guys have probably heard this at some point today, if not several times. LinkedIn, y'all. LinkedIn. And I'm not saying this, if anybody knows anything about me, I am a LinkedIn creator, right? But let me tell y'all, was not a LinkedIn girl. I was not into it. They've changed so much. I think they've done an incredible job of making it feel a lot more social. I think before it was just kind of like, hey, I got a new job. Hey, I'm looking for a job. And that was it. Hey, I've been at this job for 10 years. You know anybody who's hiring? And that was where it stopped, right? I think now it's such a cool place to show your expertise. And you don't have to be, a big guru who gets on, everybody's not an on-camera person. Everybody's not a podcast person. Everybody's not a throwing a circle, feathers on your suit kind of person, right? Everybody's not that. And so I think if you're good at writing, if you're good at marketing, right? We work in the sexiest industry there is. But I feel all of us, right? Give it up for us. That's a lot of damn work, but we look good. And we make it look good, right? But I think because our day-to-day is so much, right? That don't feel sexy. It feels very sweatpants, I rolled out of the bed. That's how it feels when you're in the middle of a campaign or you're trying to figure out a strategy or the client is, and you're just please calm down. It's a lot. And so I think it causes us to overthink what we should be talking about. But marketing isn't everything. There's no skipping us. So you don't have to talk about something that's so specific, this update on this social media platform or this new tool or this case study. You don't really necessarily have to do that. You could just talk about, Ulta launched this new thing that sold out and why it works. You can identify things that you're genuinely interested in and then just talk about those, right? And I think we forget that part because we're always in it. So you kind of got to step outside of your body a little bit or actually stay in your body, be present to the world and what's going on around you because that's easy content. Literally sharing an article, giving your little 2 thoughts. People on LinkedIn love to talk. Have y'all noticed that? They love to talk. We do too. I put in the comments yeah, that's right. Absolutely. Or, oh, I didn't see that. Let me look at that. And I think the people who do the super professional side of social media well, that's all they're doing. They're not doing anything. I ain't seen a backflip yet. I've been seeing people just being passionate about what it is they're into or things that they're seeing in the world around them. So again, the thing though is you gotta be consistent, like I said before, and you gotta figure out what consistency means to you. Consistency for some people is every day. Some people it's multiple times a day. Some people it's once a week. Some people it's once a month. I'm gonna give you my wrap up for the month. For somebody it might be quarterly, but it's extensive and you just have to figure out what works for you and don't overwhelm yourself. It's like going to the gym, right? When you go to the gym, you're I'm starting this fitness journey, right? Talking about myself. I'm starting this fitness journey. I'm going to the gym 5 days a week. I'm gonna get up. I got my outfits. I'm going to the gym 5 days a week. Day 1.5. I'm oh Jesus. Okay, you know what? Maybe I didn't think about this. Or something comes up, my schedule. I'm tired. I'm not going. Or it's too early. I'm not going. I'm sore from yesterday. I'm not going. And you don't want to overwhelm yourself immediately. I think we're again, that I'm gonna be perfect at this. Splat. And it's you don't have to do that. You can ease into your consistency and figure out what works for you in your life. You are you. You are not the person that you're looking at that has a team of people that helps them produce content consistently because they're at that point in their journey now. I think part of the issue too is that sometimes people that are in large spaces already are in an elevated sense, they don't always share what's happening behind the scenes. So yes, they look like they woke up perfect every day. That content is from last month. Not even last week, last month. They planned a content shoot, they sat down, they did all those things. So you, in-house, in your loungewear, like, oh man, well no, because then I'm gonna have to get dressed, I'm gonna have to do my hair, I'm gonna have to do makeup, forget it, and it never happens. And another quarter goes by, or you're doom scrolling, and you're looking and you're like, damn, I wish I could and you can. You just have to really be realistic with yourself. I know we live in smoke and mirror content land, but exactly what it sounds like, smoke and mirror content land. You just have to plan. But again, going back to admin stuff, having your contact information readily available. And I think that's if you're on any social media. I know some people are like, I don't want work to be on Instagram, or I don't want work to be on Twitter. This is my fun place. Totally fine if you're gonna separate that way. But if you're not, please, an email. That's all we need. Just a little email in the bio, click so we can reach out to you. And I think again, if you are going to be creating on social media platforms that are more fun, more personable, like a Twitter or Instagram, I think don't toe the line. I think if you are going to be, or you would like to be someone whose professional brand shines on there, I think consistency is super important. And again, you don't have to look like Beyonce every day, but I think showing up consistently matters. And knowing the platform you're on. If you are gonna be on Twitter, yes, you need to be on Twitter every day. I'm not gonna say make it this daunting thing that stresses you out. But you just need to be visible. Visibility is very big in our industry. We work in the visibility industry. So if you want to be visible just like anywhere else in this field, you got to remain relevant. People need to see you. And maybe you're not talking about, again, this huge topic dealing with professionalism every single day. Maybe you did just go to Trader Joe's. Maybe you're just tired, but relatability works. It works a lot. People are always like, well, how do you do that? I'm myself. If you follow me on Twitter, you're getting everything. Or you don't gotta follow me, it's okay. But I'm gonna everything. If I'm exhausted, if I saw something funny, if I bought a new lip gloss, you're getting everything. If it's a marketing concept, if it's a campaign we're working on, I'm a person. And I think operating as a person is what makes people gravitate to you, because your people will find you and they will stay. You're consistent. Close my notes. And so I think, and again, in terms of knowing your worth and getting paid for it, I think that's important too. Once you do start to develop a stronger brand, I think it's important that you're compensated fairly in those situations. Now, some situations are going to be opportunity. They're going to be something that just helps move you to the next place. But when there is an opportunity for you to get compensated, don't be shy about it, right? Know your worth. Don't be modest, especially women. I'm talking to us especially because I feel like we do a lot of underselling of ourselves. And then, we just live in a world where there's already that wealth gap, that pay gap, right? So add a little tax, sprinkle a little tax. I'm always going to say that, because if someone really wants you, they'll figure out how to get you. Because obviously they reached out to you because there's something that only you bring. And so again, know your worth, sprinkle a little tax. And so, creating content. I know we talked about a lot of things so far, but when it comes to content, value and consistency equals dollars to me. Just to kind of round things back out, consistently bringing value. What is value? Something that makes people's lives better. This could be entertaining them. It could be informing them. It could be a mix of the two. But you want to bring value. And I always tell people, think about the people that you like to follow. Think about the people that you think are so fabulous and amazing. What are they doing? They're bringing you something that you enjoy or something that you need all of the time. If they go missing, you're like, where were you? You haven't posted in where were you? And then they come back so I went on a 2-week excursion to Bali, and here's what I learned, right? And you're like, oh, okay, great. I'm tuned in. And so that's super important. I think quality over quantity. I don't care who's saying it, because I know there are some I'm doing air quotes, y'all, gurus who like to say, like, you need to be posting 12 times a day on all 15 platforms, even the ones we don't understand, because people need to see you. Now, what I do agree with is you do want presence on every platform because you don't know who will find you on there, right? Even if it's not a platform that you overperform on, I think don't leave any stone unturned, right? Like, you should have presence everywhere. But pick the one you like and go crazy. It will trickle over to the other platforms. You don't have to try to throw everything at the wall and hope it sticks. What you provide may not work well on Instagram. It's okay. But you know what happens? If it works well on Twitter and it blows up, those people are like, well, I want to see what they do on Instagram. And they come. And then you, again, at this point, you've created your own thing that you do well, and so now the rest of the platforms build. I can't tell you how many times I've seen someone start on one platform, and then when it's their moment and things really take off, everything catches up. Like, you don't have to try and be perfect at every single place, because again, if we go back to the supermarket analogy, you may not belong in that aisle. Like, again, supermarket, Trader Joe's, when you get to the front, there's all these random little snacks and trinkets, and you're kind of like, what's that? Every once in a while, you're like, oh, okay, I'll try this. Now, you done went through all the snack aisles. You got all your snacks. But this one's in the front. Okay, it's in a different place, but I'll try it. Cool. That's the same way content works. And so, again, I don't believe in that, like, I got to over quantity and I got to be everywhere doing everything. I think it's exhausting, especially if you don't have a team or you don't have, you're not scheduling content. That's another thing. Who in here is manually posting still and expecting to be super consistent with content? Don't be scared. There's a lot of y'all, and some of y'all, I see it in your eyes. You don't gotta raise your hand. I see it in your eyes. I see it. So yeah, guilty as charged as well. And I run a marketing agency. Guilty. And my team would be like, "Oh, did you schedule a post?" I'm like, "No, it's 3 o'clock. Oh, it's 3 o'clock. I got my engagement. I got a post." Exhausting, anxiety inducing, adrenaline through the roof. Not about to be consistent. It ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I think if you want to be intentional, use the tools, y'all. Later is free. It's just you, right? Show us later. It's free. It's just you. But use it. I don't care what you use. I don't care if it's Hootsuite. I don't care if it's Meta Business Suite. Depending on what platform you're on. Facebook. I'm not leave out Facebook either. Facebook is not my favorite thing, but it is incredible if that's your platform and if your audience is there. I think that Facebook is the type of place, like, when they like something, they love it. Like, they're gonna carry on. Like, Facebook they're gonna have a good time if they love it. And so I think if that's your platform, please be just as consistent as you would be on an Instagram, on Facebook. But yeah, again, I say this to say, use the tools that are available to you. Schedule posts, try it. If you hate it, tag me. Junae, I hate scheduling posts and feeling calm and knowing that my social media is going out and it looks good and I don't have to think about it and I got my nails done because I have to think about content for the week and I'm living a great life. I hate this. Tell me. I'll be like, damn, that's crazy. Let's do some research. Let's find out why. But yeah, scheduling posts makes life easier. And it sounds like something so simple. But again, I think working in the field, we forget all the things that we yell at clients about. We're like, why isn't this? Why is this in the bio? You guys need a newsletter. What do you? And it's like with us, it's like, I wish I could produce content. It's like, what do you mean? You have just created award-winning campaigns the entire year. And it's like when you come to yourself, and again, I get it. Sometimes you get to yourself and I'm exhausted. I don't got no more. I got no more ideas. They're gone. I don't know. I don't care. Leave me alone. But if you do take the time to sit down and you do take the time to be intentional, you do take the time to create, you do take the time and outsource. Fiverr exists, okay? Still. They're making a lot of money over there, right? Like there's so many, especially in this economy, there's so many freelancers. We work in the creator economy. There are people that are willing to do the things that you don't like or cannot do or don't do well. And so a really small investment could take you a really long way. If you are more of a self-starter, you want to get your hands dirty, you want your coins where you can see them in your pocket, come on now, how much do we have to preach about Canva? Canva is like synonymous now with social. And it's so easy. They got AI now. First of all, we have AI, period. Right? And I don't believe in AI replacing us and what we do, right? Because that ain't gonna happen. I just don't believe it, because somebody got to program the tech, right, in the first place. But I do believe it's one of the most incredible tools that we've been afforded in this lifetime for what we do. You can knock a lot of stuff in half, research being one of them, creation being another thing, and have your own unique twist and still have your razzle dazzle sparkle on top of it. And so, again, use the things that are afforded to us. Now, when I'm speaking to people who don't work in marketing, they're like, wait, what's that? What's this? Okay. Y'all, we know what the things are. What are we doing? We know what they are. We have access to all of them. Utilize them for your professional, personal brand as well. Think outside the box, right? Also, think outside the box. Do not, again, do what everyone else is doing. We live in a sea of content. Your goal should be to stop the scroll. I'm not saying do something wild and outlandish. If that's your thing, though, go crazy. But if it's not, like most of us, just doing something that's interesting, talking about it in a new way, having a topic that maybe people don't often speak about, giving them insight into something that they wouldn't know unless they were you and do what you do every day, right? Like, these are the things. And it's not just, another thing too is, I think the mistake that particularly marketers make in professional and personal branding is only talking to marketers. We talk to each other all the time. Like, this is not, like, if I'm honest, I think my creative community is, I have a lot of people in marketing, but there's also people who do various things in various industries, because they don't know what we do. They don't know the answers. They don't know where to find them. So I think another issue sometimes is we're tailoring things for each other. And it's like, if we're on the room talking to each other all day, we're really not talking to anyone but each other. And so you want to also make sure you're speaking in a way that the everyday person can connect to, and not just your coworker that you talk to all the time about stuff, or your spouse who has to listen to you talk about whatever marketing thing all day long at night while they try to go to sleep. Guilty. You talk to other people. And, I was taught very early in my career that good ideas can come from anywhere, right? A thing that I test often, especially for something visual, and I learned this from one of my bosses very early in my career when I still worked at record labels. She had a son at the time, and he was like 5 or 6, and she showed him a cut of a music video we were working on for a big artist at the time. And she was like, what do you think about this? And he was like running in circles, like, and he was like, it's boring. And she was like, you know what, I agree. Scrap this, let's do it over, right? So use the things around you, the people around you, right? I think what makes me good at what I do is because I am a people person. And not that I'm a person that's gonna walk into the room or bother people, but I'm a person. I like to talk to people, I learn from people, I observe humans a lot, and we're in the people business. I have something that floats around on LinkedIn all the time, like marketing is all psychology, right? If you don't get that, you don't know people, you're not good at people, you're not gonna be good at it, right? And again, you don't have to be the most extroverted person in the world, but you gotta know what makes people tick. And so to go back to the good ideas come from everywhere, I think that we should constantly be sourcing from humans. That's who we sell to. We don't sell to each other. We sell to human beings that have nothing to do with this industry. The average person has no idea what we're talking about. They don't know any of the jargon, they don't know any of the protocol, they don't know or care what a strategy is. What is this thing? Does it look nice? And what is it gonna do for me? And how much does it cost, right? Like, that's all they wanna know. It's all they wanna know. And so I think that's another thing to keep in mind. In this conversation, I'm really tailoring it to marketers. Because I think, again, I know what it feels like to be like, I want to do content, but like, what do I talk about? And so, okay, let's go to takeaways, because I really want to do Q&A. Q&A, excuse me. What is Q&A? What I'll leave you with is how to do this, right? I am the marketing plan. Be evident, be exciting, be excellent, and let your story cut the check. You are the marketing plan. And so I want everybody also to repeat after me. This is my favorite affirmation. I think it helps a lot. I am more than enough.
I am more than enough.
And nothing meant for me.
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 Will ever miss me.
Will ever miss me.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay. Questions?
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Questions. And that storytelling bit is important too. You don't know what to talk about? Tell your story.